Happy Monday, Bixby Beavers. How are you? Guess what? This is the final week before we go on our winter recess. So that means a couple of things for us, right? It means a lot of excitement, a lot of joy. Um, yeah, and we're all looking forward to resting these next couple of weeks. And celebrating with our families, and some of you will be getting presents, maybe. so it's going to be great, right? One of the things that we notice is when we're excited about going on vacation, or ending a time and then going on vacation, is that people tend to forget or ignore rules and expectations that we have for one another, and our norms for one another, and we want to make sure that we don't. Okay, we still expect you to be the very best you can be, even if it's Friday and it's the day before we go on vacation. So all of these days we need you to be the best. Okay, and you know how to do that because I know you, and you're excellent at being the best. And so make sure that you make good choices. You don't want me to come see you and find you, or come have you visit me in my office. Yeah, those aren't really fun conversations to have. But what is fun is seeing you be the best you can be, taking care of each other, and also taking care of our campus and being inclusive towards others. Speaking of which, there are some things that Bragtag Bruno is going to tell you about in a little bit. There's one particular student that he wants to shout out because I told him about this student, and he wants to say something to them. So I'll make sure that I'll save that story for Mr. Bragtag Bruno when he's ready to make his announcement. But so this is what I do want to tell you, though. So I've been looking at your progress on iReady, and this is the last week we'll be taking iReady for a long time. The next time we'll do iReady assessment will be in May, so we have a while. So we do this 3 times a year, and I'll tell you why. It's not because we want to punish you. I think I say this quite often. Not because we want to punish you, not because we are mad at you or we love giving you tests. That's not why. Why we do have you take the iReady is because it shows us and your teachers, us, your parents, your teachers, yourselves even, what's next and how much you've grown. So we started doing this after the pandemic, and the pandemic really closed everything, and some of us lost a lot of learning time, and so we were trying to figure out how to catch students up. And so some students were a bit behind in their learning because there was no school, or some of the school was online and it was really hard to learn that way. But now that we've been in school, we keep seeing how our teaching is going and how much you're learning, so that we can do the best for you. And so the iReady helps us do that. And you'll see, I think that you end up getting like a grade level score or something like that. But that's not as important to me. It's important because it does show us, where you still need to grow. But what I do want to call out is the stretch growth that you make, right? So let's just say you start right here, right? This is your level in, say, reading, okay? But then after taking the iReady and after being in class for all that time, you end up here on your score. That's pretty incredible, because that means that you're really working hard in class and your teachers are doing a fantastic job with you to make sure that you're learning. And so that's what we do with the iReady. So it's not to shame you, not to punish you, not to be disappointed in you. No, we are never disappointed in you. You are the best of Bixby. And so we love being with you. We're so proud of you, proud of all the work that you do. Sometimes you make some choices that need to be corrected, but that doesn't mean we're disappointed in you. And we might be disappointed in a choice that you made, but we're not disappointed in you. Okay? You're a Bixby Beaver and we love you. So let's talk about that stretch growth. So let me shout out some people. I got some third graders who met some stretch growth in reading, English reading, okay? And from Senora Guevara's class, Layla and Lucy. In Senora Sanchez's class, Caden and Hope. In Senora Valles' class, Kalena and Ben Curtis. And then in Senor Valdepeña's class, Jemiah and Russell. So give yourselves a pat on the back because you, again, started here and you ended up here for stretch growth and reading. And then for fourth grade in Senora Salas' class, Emerson and Morgan. In Maestra Aguirre's class, Noah H. and Tanner. In Senora Hernandez's class, Daphne and Xander. Big ups to you, snaps. And in fifth grade, in Mr. Wilkerson's class, Trey and Enrique P. In Senora Marquez Chapman's class, Harley and Kenneth. In Senora Rojas's class, Jesse and Zane. So also, snaps to all you. Thank you so much for giving it your best because that, you see, stretch growth, that isn't your teacher making you do something. That means that you are digging deep to make sure that you do the best you can do. Okay? Now, I haven't mentioned math because everybody first through fifth grade takes math. So the reading in English is only third, fourth, and fifth. Okay? So let's find out. Let's see who our stretch growth shout outs are for in first grade for math. In Maestra Argueta's class, Steele and Serafina. In Maestra Flores' class, Ellis and Rafael. In Senora Gastelum's class, Alejandro and Hendrix. Yeah! In second grade with Maestra Castillo, we have George and Hazel. In Senora Garcia's class, Van and Colton. And in Senor Duron's class, Ringoro and Alexander. Big snaps to you too. In third grade, in Maestra Valles' class, we have Liam and Cole. In Senora Sanchez's class, we have Chance and Gatsby. In Maestro Valdepeña's class, Harper and Albie. And then in Senora Guevara's class, Nolan and Emilio. Yeah, big round of applause for you. And then in fourth grade for math, I only have available Maestra Salas' class right now because you're still working on it. And so the rest of the fourth grade class, we'll find out who those stretch growthers are. But right now in Maestra Salas' class, Rafael. Yeah. And then in fifth grade in Mr. Wilkerson's class, Sarsha and Enrique P. In Miss Marquez Chapman's class, Charles and Emily. In Senora Rojas' class, Zane and Christian Diggs. Big round of applause for you all. And Bragtag Bruno also has something to tell you all, some little kudos for you. And I also have a couple other announcements. One has to do with the cafeteria, okay? When you are in line getting your lunch, it is not permitted to eat in line, okay? It's not even permitted. Remember this. We don't eat and walk. We take a seat and then we eat. That little rhyme. See what I did there? We take a seat and then we eat. We don't eat in line. So make sure that we don't do that. It's a health code violation. So let's not do that. They can shut down our cafeteria and we can get in trouble for doing that. So let's make a good choice and let's make sure that we wait to get to our table and then we can start eating. Got it? Well, and not just getting to our table. You have to sit down and then start eating. So that's one thing. Hey, so I want to just warn you that this week there's going to be a lot of rain. I don't know if it's going to be raining during lunchtime, okay? But if it rains in the morning, be careful crossing the street because there's a big puddle on Stearns. And then in the mornings, if you're not eating breakfast, then you go to the auditorium if you get here before 7:45. If you get here at 7:45, then you're going to go to your classroom. Your classroom will be open by 7:45. Now at lunchtime, last time it rained during lunch, it was not pretty. And so I want to make sure that everyone knows what we need to do, okay, especially you. So at lunchtime, you are going to walk with your class. Even if you have a lunch, everyone's going to be walking to the auditorium, okay? I will either send you to the line or send you to sit down in the chairs of the auditorium. Your job is to sit there quietly and patiently until you get dismissed. I will not send students into the cafeteria if they don't know how to behave in those rows. So you could be last or you could be first. So just make the right choice. So I'll dismiss you to go line up. And then that way we'll keep the line moving quickly. And then one of the rec staff members are going to walk you to your hallway. Okay? So you'll get your lunch. We'll wait for you. And then you will get sent to your hallway in your classroom. In there, you will be doing something that your teacher has assigned you to do or provide you to do. It's not crazy wacky time. You eat quietly in that classroom, and you also you do something respectful, something quiet that your teacher has assigned you. Okay? That is not a time to go crazy, jump around, be making a mess. Your teacher will set those expectations for you and review those with you. All right? I believe that you have the capacity, you have the ability to do this well and do it properly. And so I'm going to be counting on you to do that. And there's going to be staff in the hallways to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do and treating people respectfully, treating the space respectfully, and doing what you're supposed to be doing. Okay? So, we got this. So here's the final announcement I want to make. Last month we celebrated citizenship, and so if your teacher nominated you as a great example of citizenship, congratulations to you. You earned yourself a certificate. You had a donut hole. You got a Smensel, and then you also got a Raising Cane's gift certificate. So lucky, take me, okay? So this one, no, not lucky. That means that you worked really, really hard to earn that, and you deserve it. For this coming up month, and for the month of December, your teachers are looking for those students who practice justice and fairness in class, on the playground, wherever you are on the campus of Bixby. When you are practicing justice and fairness, they're looking for that. And that means that you're treating people fairly, that you are not just trying to get even with people, but making sure that you're giving people opportunities to perhaps, even if they make an error, to help them get better at it, right? Or that if you see two people who are perhaps in a conflict, that you're helping them resolve it, whether it's like you presenting another perspective to somebody by saying, hey, you should consider what they're telling you, or maybe even going to get an adult to help you resolve the issue after you've already tried it. So those are all ways to practice justice and fairness on our campus, and I know Bixby has a lot of those boys and girls who practice that. So I'm looking forward to seeing who it is that gets selected in each class for that award, because we want to celebrate you. All right? Well, those are my announcements. You have a wonderful week, and I'll be seeing you out there on the playground, at the front of the school, at valet, in the cafeteria, at the lunch benches, all the places. I'm going to be seeing you, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you celebrate Spirit Week this week. So there was a flyer that went home with you on Friday, and I shared it with your parents on Sunday night. And so let's make sure that we have a wonderful, fantastic, beaveristic week. All right? See you out there. Peace.
Hey there, Brunos and Brunettes. It's just me here with a weekly message. There are a couple things I want to bring your attention. One thing is I heard Mr. Vieira mention in his message that there were a bunch of students, first through fifth grade, who'd made some stretch growth. Yeah, that's what I'd like to hear. Only because stretch growth means that you're giving it your all. For example, when I'm doing my workout and I'm doing all those push ups, right? Doing all those push ups, sometimes I get to number 4 and my arms get shaky and I just got to push through to get to number 5. That's how I get these big muscles. The other thing is, um, those students who were mentioned are going to be earning some of these gift cards to In and Out. So if you heard your name called, Mr. Vieira is going to be coming into your classroom to deliver these babies for you. And you can treat yourself to some In and Out. That's right. Love In and Out. You know why? Because it's what a hamburger's all about. I said that. And then finally, here's one thing that I want to shout out to you. I heard from Mr. Vieira that he witnessed something pretty special last week. And that was that there was a second grader who was feeling a little sad going to class. Well, a fourth grader happened to see this student, started to walk by her, and accompanied her to her classroom. That's right. I'm talking about you, Brooklyn. Yeah, I heard about you, and I appreciate you doing that. And I know that so does Mr. Vieira. So, I want to make sure that you get a proper shout out for doing that. Because that's the kind of big speed beavers we have on this campus. And that's the kind of big speed beavers we want to develop on this campus as well. So, big ups to you, Brooklyn. Because that means that you were being inclusive and showing respect, taking care of people. And we appreciate that a lot. That's the heart of a champion. Well, you're all going to be on vacation starting Friday. Now, you remind your parents that it's a minimum day and school gets out at 1 o'clock. Also, if you're a fifth grader and your parents haven't signed you up or registered you for Camp High Hill, it's time. Make sure they do that this week because the office is going to be closed. And if they need help, they're going to miss an opportunity for you to go to Camp High Hill. So tell them that's what's on your list as a gift. Sign me up to go to Camp High Hill. It'll be a blast. All right. You have a great week. Now do it.